Hi everyone, and welcome to Paper Pumpkin Week here on Creative Chelsey. Today I'm sharing with you my third alternative card using the December 2024 Paper Pumpkin Kit called Notes from the Heart. The kit creates a total of 9 cards, 3 in 3 different designs, with coordinating envelopes. If you would like to watch me unbox the kit and create these cards, or see any of my other alternative projects, you can click on the playlist in the top right corner. Today's card is monochromatic with different shades of green and a pop of yellow and gold. I love the layers of leaves and the different textures included on this card. If you are new to Paper Pumpkin and are interested in getting your own monthly crafting kit, you can subscribe using the link in the description below. I love my subscribers and send them an exclusive card kit each month. This kit includes the cardstock and embellishments they need to make 2 of my exclusive card design with the stamp set and ink from that month's kit. I would love to be your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and help you with any questions you may have about Paper Pumpkin or Stampin' Up! Products. You can contact me through my email address listed at the bottom of the description in every video. All right, to begin with this card, we are going to start by trimming this leftover piece we have from the Scallop Cardbase. We have already made 2 cards, and so this is the last piece. And we are going to trim off the scallops. We're going to start with the short edge first, and we are going to trim it. Take that straight edge, make sure that's at the top, and we are going to trim it. Right now it's at 5 inches. And we want 4 1/4. So go ahead and match up that straight left edge with 4 1/4. Trim off those scallops. And then we're going to trim off these scallops next. So place one of those straight edges at the top and we're going to do 2 1/4. Just like that. Next, we're going to take that piece, make sure that the side that has the little bit of yellow on it is up, and you're going to emboss it. And I do have this Fern 3D embossing folder that coordinates perfectly with the products in this kit, as well as the die cut. So I'm going to go ahead and use that. You could use any embossing folder. All right, you can see how beautiful that is. And that's going to be our background piece to our ferns. So now let's go ahead and work on our card base. I've got a card base of Mossy Meadow cardstock, and I'm going to use Early Espresso ink, and I have a splatter image. And I found this splatter from the March 2024 Paper Pumpkin Kit called Daisies for You. And I think this actually was the extra set. So the kit wasn't actually called Daisies for You, but this was the extra set that was in that kit. And so it's this cute little splatter here. And I'm going to use that with the Early Espresso ink and just add some splatters around my card. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It can be very random. And doesn't need to be in the center because we're going to be adding our leaves and stuff there. So maybe something like that. If you would rather splatter with a Stampin' Right marker, you can do that as well. Let's go ahead and add our white piece with some dimensionals to the center. And it just goes right there in the middle. You can have a little more space at the bottom if you'd like, but it'll look something like this. Next, you're going to take the envelope piece, and this is the flap piece. It's perfect for a cutout, and this is the fern piece from the Merry Tags and More dies, which coordinates with the December kit. And so I'm going to go ahead and cut out one of those ferns from that envelope paper. All right, so love that. And I'm going to layer it with the die cut fern from the kit and one of the vellum pieces. But we're going to separate this. So we're going to get 3 pieces from this one vellum. So grab your paper snips and let's start let's start on this right side here. So go ahead and you're just going to snip off that stem and then try to just complete this leaf by creating a more pointy leaf there. And then this one, what we want to do is try to save both leaves. So I'm going to make this leaf on the right a little smaller than it probably should be by creating a little, I don't know if you can see that. Looks like I need to cut a little bit off, but just a little smaller of a leaf there. And that's going to save both leaves. And I can kind of even that out a little bit. For this one, this is kind of the bottom. We don't really need to worry too much about this one. But just kind of separate it, giving it a little bit of that leaf shape near the top, and then separate this one from that one. This one's the one at the very top, so it's more important that that top leaf looks like natural. So that's the one on the right, and put that one off to the side. Let's go ahead and separate this one now. So I'm going to flip it upside down, it's easier for me. And then I'm going to kind of create my own shape with that one leaf that we had left over. And kind of do this one, kind of keep it nice and short so it doesn't affect too much of that other leaf. I think that one looks pretty good. And then we've got this one. This one is kind of a double leaf here. So you have kind of the branch that comes off. I'm just going to snip off the bottom. We don't need all that extra. And then I'm going to try to round out that left side to make it feel a little more natural. And same on this side. There, something like that. There's a little piece that's kind of showing. It looks a little weird, so I'm gonna just round that out. There we go. All right, so out of those 3 pieces, let's grab the one we're going to use. So we're going to use the one that has the single top. So that was the first one that we cut out. So you see how we have a single leaf there? This one also has a single leaf, but it has the branch, right? So we've got the single leaf, but then the branch. And then this one has kind of 2 leaves at the top. So it's just that large single leaf. Save the other 2. We're going to use them on another project. I'm going to pop up the top of my fern, my die cut fern here, but add just a little bit of liquid adhesive at the bottom. And that's going to help keep things, have some dimension, but not too thick. And then place it so that the top is about halfway and the bottom is about halfway. So something like that. Then I've got my die cut. I'm going to add that next. It's going to kind of come off a little bit. If you have a small dimensional, maybe a mini, or you could cut one of the larger ones, you can tuck that behind that top area and then add a little liquid glue at the bottom. And that should hold that in place. And it's going to go on the right side of the fern, coming off just a little bit on that side. And then before we add the vellum leaf to our card, I do want to emboss it with that same embossing folder that I used for the background. So I'm just going to pop it into my fern 3D embossing folder and run it through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Now it came out in sections. I think the embossing, I placed it in an area that was highly embossed. This didn't happen to my first one, so I just think that's kind of interesting that it separated, but that's okay. I'm just going to go ahead and build it on my card. So I've got that bottom layer first, and then the next layer And I'm going to place, you just want to make sure that however the texture is, you place them going the same way if by chance this happens to you. You can add a little adhesive behind this textured vellum. It's not going to show up. So I'm just going to build my next one right on top of that and then add my last one. Whoops, and then that one just came out. That's okay. No one's going to know. And then pop that one on top of that one. Oh, my finger's getting sticky. And then the top. I think it's this way. Yep. Just a little puzzle piece. There we go. So it's going to look just like that. Then we've got one of the rectangle labels from the kit, and I'm going to use Best of Luck along with the Early Espresso ink that we used in the background. Go ahead and ink that up and then stamp it onto the label right in the center. Just like that. Now I wanted to add a little bit of color, and there's this gorgeous color that we have. And at first I was like, I'm not sure I'm going to love this color, but I do like it. It's the wild wheat, and I think it looks really beautiful when you want to accent things with a little touch of gold. It's just not shiny, so I think it works really well. I did use the light wild wheat blend for this detail, and I'm just going to take the thick side and I'm going to color one of the sides where the scallop is. And the nice thing about blends is that you can kind of go over it a couple times and you're not going to see any of those marks, those like lines from coloring over and over. So you don't need to fill up the whole paper, but this is the short scallop that we cut off from that centerpiece. I'm going to go ahead and add some liquid adhesive so that I can add it to my greeting. And I'm going to have it go just a little bit bigger. So you could place it so that the bottom of the greeting sits at the top of the scallop, and then you just have a little scallop showing, or you can make it a little bigger. And that's what I've done, is it's showing a little more of that scallop just so that you can see that beautiful color, and it's kind of a nice pop with the gold. So just try to make sure it's nice and even across. And then we're going to pop that on with dimensionals. And you're just going to place that right over your leaves. Make sure that it's nice and even on the card. Just like that. So we're going to start with 10 inches, which is how I like to do my single bows. And then I'm going to add another 8. Depending on how big you want it, you could add more as well if you'd like. And use some glue dots. Put your ends together. And then you just wrap back and forth to create a bow. So with one side, you're going to make a loop and then come back around to make a second loop. Oh, that one I made a little on the big side. Let's make it just a little smaller. So something like that. You want your loops to be about the same size on both sides. And then I do need to sandwich this because I need a little more adhesive to help the other side stay. And we're just going to repeat. Super cute. Then you can pull that off and tuck that under the right bottom corner of your greeting. So the last thing I want to add are these gems. They did come in the kit and they have a beautiful sparkle to them. You can add as many as you like. I'm going to do, let's do 5. Put one there, maybe one down there. Let's do a big one. We'll add it to the vellum. It's half on the vellum, half off, and that will kind of help hold the vellum in place. Maybe another one there. And one up top. And that card is all done. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching me create this fun card today. If you're interested in getting written instructions or seeing close-up images on how I created this card, you can visit my blog, creativechelsey.com. If you would like to subscribe to get your own paper pumpkin kit, please do so using the link in the description box below. Thanks so much for watching. Have a creative day. Bye.